Fox News Alert: protest tonight in St. Louis after the acquittal of a former white police officer charged with first-degree murder following a 2011 shooting of a black man. Live in the middle of all these protests tonight, Will Carr. Will, what's happening now?
Well, Sean, they're continuing to move through the streets here on the central west end of St. Louis. This is a very popular hangout, trendy area for St. Louis. And this is an area that's not prepared for these types of protests. You mind if we talk to you about why you're out here tonight?
Oh, no, you can talk to somebody else.
Okay. Can we talk to you about why you're out here tonight?
I'm out here because I feel awful about the death of Mr. Smith.
And what made you decide to come?
He was killed because he was a black man.
And what made you decide to come out for this specifically?
I want to show my support for my community.
Have you been keeping of the case?
Yes.
And what specifically did you disagree with the judge's decision?
I respect that the judge is pro-defense. I'm just disappointed that the same leniency isn't shown to all criminal defendants who are black and brown.
Does it bother you that Smith drove away and hit the police car and ended up in the chase to begin with?
That doesn't justify killing him.
What do you think that
Will,
a
I got a
march like
question for her.
this does to
Will,
further...
can you hear me?
I think
Hold
it
on one
brings
second.
the community
Hold on one second.
together.
I have one question. What's that? Go ahead, Sean.
Black Lives Matter, members of that group were shouting and screaming, "What do we want dead cops? When do we want them now?" Why would she carry a sign of a group that says that?
So I want to ask you, you're carrying the Black Lives Matter sign. The group has at times called for officers to be killed. Do you agree with that?
I'm sorry, you said the group's called for officers to be killed. I don't support killing anyone, but what I do understand is why communities are so outraged.
So why did you decide to carry the Black Lives Matter sign tonight?
Because Black Lives Matter, and people don't always acknowledge that.
And we've heard that from so many people out here, Sean. There's so many different messages here, and tonight it's one of unity, whereas earlier today it was really a message of anger, where we saw so many people jumping on one police car, smashing in the windshield. 13 people were arrested, 4 officers were hurt. Tonight, it's really more of the chanting, the marching. We've had some singing out here as people continue to walk through the streets of St. Louis, Sean.
All right, thanks, Will, so much for being with us. We really do appreciate it. And also on the ground tonight, our own Mike Tobin. Mike, what's going on where you are? You're in a different part of the protest.
Yeah, just a lot of marching, and thus far it's manifested as a big old block party. I'll give you a quick look around. You got a lot of people, and you can see, like, this guy over here. Obviously, he came out tonight with a helmet on, expecting some kind of trouble. You see people with the different gear on, the face masks. They're kind of anticipating what we saw earlier, pepper spray, gas, what you will. Here's some people. Can I ask you a couple questions? First of all, all right, they say they're not anticipating violence. Come here. All right, what are you anticipating?
Honestly, this protest has been a success so far. The only thing that would count more of a success is if we actually had action from it. But no, yeah, you should.
Bring one over.
Yeah.
Okay, the only reason I'm wearing this mask is I'm asthmatic. Okay, so that's all it is. In case something were to happen, I just want to be safe. That's all it is.
All right, what are you trying to get done here tonight?
We're just trying to represent and be here and stand in solidarity with all the other black people that's been shot and killed by the police.
Now, in terms of this particular case you're demonstrating about, you know, Mr. Smith rammed the vehicle into the police. The judge didn't support the contention that the weapon was planted. So what are your problems with the facts in this case? Why should the police officer be convicted?
Okay, so the cop, while he was driving, said, "We are going to kill this beeper," right? And then when he got there, he went up to him and shot him 5 times at the door.
Right.
There's no need for that. He then goes back to the car, grabs something mysterious, and goes back to the car and sits down in the seat of the car.
All right. So, I mean, the judge obviously didn't support the contention that the weapon was planted. Now, you were chiming in from the background. Let's hear.
I don't have anything to say.
All right. You don't have anything you want to say. What were you going to say, Sean?
What company are you with?
I'm with Fox News Channel.
A lot of these guys there are hiring officers. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, they're shouting me down. What'd you say, Sean?
No, I see the lady's putting her camera in front of your camera there, or putting her hand in front of your camera.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what exactly, what evidence are they citing here? I mean, we watched the high-speed chase. We saw the risk he put these cops under, ramming the cops. We see another video of the cop actually that was not dash cam, that actually he's putting the gun in the back of his car. Are you okay there, Mike?
Yeah. Here, you want to talk? You want to make a point? All right. What's your problem with the evidence?
Hold on. Whoa.
What?
I don't know if this is your charge. Yeah, that's my charge.
So what's your problem with the evidence?
My problem with the evidence is that it's a blatant.
Let him make his point. Go ahead.
It's a blatant disrespect to the people when we see clearly on video evidence of murder. Okay?
Okay.
Anytime.
What's the video evidence that makes you say
the gun in the car?
Excuse me?
What about the gun in the car?
What about the gun in the car? Evidence show that the gun in the car belonged to the officers. Nobody's DNA was on that gun but Jason Stockley's.
Now, the expert witnesses who testified, absence of Mr. Smith's DNA on that weapon doesn't mean Smith didn't own that weapon or didn't hold that weapon at some point.
The only DNA that was found on that gun was Jason Stockley's.
That's accurate.
Was not is accurate.
But absence, come on,
That's uncalled for.
Not cool. That's me again.
No.
That's me again.
Make your point. You want to make a. You don't want
All
to
right,
make a
Mike,
point.
we'll come back here. Oh, come on.
Right.
Really?
All right, we got to go. We got to go, Sean.
Hey, Mike, you get out of there. Get out of there safely. All right, make sure that he gets into safety. It's a little scary out there, and you see what's happening. When we come back, we'll have more.